So what if the Confederacy reformed in 2022, or whenever you're watching this? So we're going to have the Confederacy as the attackers, and then we're going to have the U.S. or the Union defending and eventually trying to push back. So we have them first going into Missouri, capturing parts of the Missouri River. And then in Virginia, we have them pushing from this little panhandle thing into Maryland. And then also capturing Washington, D.C. They do this pretty quickly. And then we have them making a slight push into West Virginia, although it is very mountainous due to the Appalachian Mountains. And then over here by Texas, we have them making progress into New Mexico. Same thing with Oklahoma. Although trying to take out these three states is kind of useless. This one's mountainous, this one's a desert and mountainous, and Kansas is actually kind of just flat land. So they are able to push in a bit, but not by much. Then in West Virginia, we have Virginia getting pushed out, and then we have the blue team taking out this Virginia, this little isolated part of Virginia, I guess, disconnected part. And then we have the blue team attempting to take back Washington, D.C., and that area is highly contested. Then back in Missouri, we have them continuing to push into it and capturing the Mississippi River here and also the Missouri River. So we have them making quite a lot of progress there. And then we have a slight more advance into New Mexico, but we have most Texan troops coming over here. And it does help them push back Missouri even more. Then back up here, we have Virginia, North Carolina, and a few other states, including Florida, send their troops up here and push into Maryland, capturing most of the state and taking over cities such as Baltimore and Annapolis. And then we have a slight push into Pennsylvania, although right as they do that, we have Pennsylvanian troops pushing back quite far, as Pennsylvania is a pretty strong state. But we do have the capitulation of a few states, such as Maryland and Delaware, which is a loss for the blue team. Then, back over here, we have a push from Oklahoma into Kansas a bit more, although over here we do have Kansas troops pushing Oklahoma back, and even push into Oklahoma in a few parts. Then back in Missouri, we have troops from mostly western states here in the Confederacy pushing in further and further. And they even push into Kentucky, which is a very mountainous area, so they don't get too far, but they do manage to push in. Then we have troops from Illinois finally being ready and mobilized, pushed down a bit, although they are eventually halted. But we do have them out of Illinois now. Then over here we have a small push into West Virginia, but with them now having this area of Maryland, they are able to kind of, encircle this and take it over. So they do take over this West Virginia panhandle thing they have that looks like Afghanistan, so yeah. And then we have a small push into New Jersey, but with states such as Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Michigan, and Ohio, we do have them getting pushed down quite far until they are completely pushed out of Delaware. And then we have them pushing down. Oh yeah, by the way, red team would have controlled this again. I forgot to color it though. Pushing them out of the Delmarva Peninsula and then controlling this bay here. Then they push Virginia completely out of Maryland and even push them out of West Virginia. And then we have a push into Virginia here. And then we also have them getting the coast here as well. Then over here, we have all red team fronts getting pushed back, if not completely fall. The Mississippi front almost falls, although they do hold a little bit of ground. They lose all of their holds in West Virginia, and they lose all their holds in Kentucky as well. Then Colorado and New Mexico push Oklahoma out. And then they don't really go into the panhandle too much because that's a wasteland. So they go down into this Kansas front that they have going. But we do have Texan troops pushing them back, as Texas is the only reason Oklahoma's still alive. Then back over here, we have Virginia getting pushed in from all sides. And them eventually surrendering. Then we have Oklahoma surrendering. And with these two states surrendering, lots of places do consider surrendering. One such place is Alabama and South Carolina. They surrender, although the red team doesn't really like this, so they do push in as they see this as a kind of betrayal a bit. So we have North Carolina troops not putting too much into South Carolina, although they do push in a bit. We do have red team troops in Virginia, though, still holding some ground here. But then blue team troops do push them out. And then we have them pushing down the North Carolina coast. At this point, North Carolina just decides it would be best for them to surrender. So we have them surrendering. Then we have them getting completely pushed. We have all red team fronts getting pushed out. So their Missouri front gone. Their New Mexico front. It was never really a front, but that's gone as well. So we have states all over the Confederacy surrendering, such as Tennessee and Mississippi. And this starts a chain reaction, so Arkansas is next, and then Louisiana, and the few remaining states are kind of determined to stay in. So we do have them pushing in to a few states to hold, as like a buffer thing for them to still gain land out of this. We have Texan troops holding off the onslaught of troops in Oklahoma and even pushing them back a bit. And then we also have them pushing into Louisiana. But then, with troops across the nation, we do have these places getting pushed out. So eventually we have to capture Atlanta and then down the Florida coast. And this is a very hard thing for them to be able to do, but troops from Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Washington, California, Arizona, places all across the U.S. Are sending their troops into these two areas. And these two states can't really do anything about it. So we do have them surrendering. And please comment or like the video if you want to see the peace treaty from this. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.